Our cutlets are browning on the second side. These are pork cutlets versus chicken cutlets. We've got our quick marinara thickening up a bit on the front burner here. This was just a couple of fat cloves of garlic, olive oil, of course, good EVOO, bottom of the pan, crushed red pepper flakes, fresh or dried oregano or marjoram, add the canned tomatoes. I let this come up to a bubble and thicken up a little bit. Closer to the end, I throw in the basil. When you bring home basil from the grocery store, don't put it in your refrigerator. It hates the cold, it bruises the basil, and you'll throw most of it away. It'll turn black and wilt on you. It should be kept like fresh cut flowers. Trim the bottom, put it in water, and if you put a large plastic food storage bag over the top, it makes a greenhouse and the basil will continue to grow. Then when you want to use your basil, you take the little plastic bag off, and you just tear the leaves. A lot of people like to slice it and chop it. Again, you're bruising the leaves. So we just add in a little handful of leaves and wilt those down in. And the sweetness of the basil balances the heat of the chili flake and the tang of the red wine. Our cutlets, this is our last batch, look perfect. This is what I was telling you about cutlets in general. See, nice deep golden brown, extra crispy. These will get soggy on the bottom if you don't put the wire rack inside the rimmed baking sheet before you pop these in the oven. A lot of people put these in the oven too low. If you put it on low, that's 175 degrees. These are gonna get sweaty. 275 is the magic number to keep them crispy and delicious and hot through. So while those guys are going, we're gonna do our polenta. I love, if I have the time, to make coarse polenta. It takes about 40 minutes. And you are stirring it frequently. So if I'm gonna be in the kitchen, fine. I like the texture of it. It's really dense and has a nice chew. When I get home from work, I have quick cooking polenta, and that's my friend if I'm getting home late, because it cooks in just 2 to 3 minutes as opposed to 40 minutes. Quick cooking polenta is just a finer meal, a finer grind of your cornmeal. So your ratio for making a quick cooking polenta is 3 to 1. Most people use water. I do not. I like a combination of milk and stock. I use 2 cups of stock to about a cup of milk. You bring this to a gentle bubble. Because of the milk, it will boil over very quickly, so you really have to keep your eye on it. When it just starts to come to a simmer, you can start massing the polenta. Now, you add a little bit at a time while you're whisking, and then just keep working it with your whisk until it gets nice and thick. You don't want this to be like cement. You still want it pourable. So guys, this is how you finish your polenta once it masses. Again, every single layer when you're cooking, season with salt and pepper. Because I put milk or dairy in the polenta, I add a little nutmeg. Those two things go together very nicely. We're going to add in a couple of pats of butter to highlight the sweetness of the flavor of the corn. And then we're going to whisk the butter in to finish. And then we're going to add some of our Parmigiano Reggiano to make it nice and cheesy. And it's just pourable. See there? It's not too thick, not too thin. It's kind of the Goldilocks of polenta. So then we take our polenta, pour it onto your plate, and make a little well, okay? You can line a shallow bowl like that as well. Then we're gonna grab our cutlets, our crispy pork cutlets. Come on, boys, it's time to eat. Pop your cutlet in there. My husband would take 2, believe me. And then turn your marinara off. And boo-do-do-do-do.